Okay, we're in Monjo, Nepal. Yesterday we got up early. We were at the Yeti Hotel. We had breakfast and then we went out to the domestic terminal at the airport. Okay, back to the airport and domestic terminal in Kathmandu here, and getting ready to fly into Lukla. So yeah, pretty uneventful. Got up at breakfast at the Yeti, and weather couldn't look better. It's super clear. And hopefully it is up there at Lukla, and we'll be making our way up about 30-minute flight from Kathmandu into Lukla, where we'll begin our journey. Weighed our bags, went through security, did all the stuff. It was a beautiful day. You can see that it's a beautiful day today too here. And we made our way out onto the tarmac, where we then loaded our flight on a Twin Otter plane, and made our flight about 30 minutes from the Kathmandu airport domestic terminal out to the Lukla landing strip. Had nice weather for the flight, came in, landed at Lukla. We retrieved our bags and got set up, and then we made the trek from Lukla along the river to Phokding, and then from Phokding we continued on a couple more hours and made it here to Monjo. So we're right on the border of the edge of the Sagamartha National Park. This morning when we leave, we'll go just about 10 minutes or less, and we'll enter into the national park, and we'll go through the suspension bridges and everything else and make our way up to Namche today. But you can see the weather's really beautiful today. A lot of times people ask what the best time of year to come to Nepal is. What we're aiming for is to come here in the spring or the fall. So we're looking at April, May for trekking groups. And then in June, July, and August, it's the monsoon season. So in April and May, all of the base camp at Everest, all of the groups are up there getting ready to climb Mount Everest. Typically, Mount Everest is climbed in April, and then May is the window right before the monsoon season kicks off. The winds drop down high on the mountain and gives them the opportunity to be acclimatized, having got all their gear up onto the mountain and in position. And then when the weather gets good for those few days, they can go to the top and back. So they're aiming to do that usually sometime around middle May. And that's cool. The groups are up there in the April-May season. It's also going to be better views for trekking up in the high mountains, to be able to see the high mountains. And then come June, July, August, it's going to be the monsoon season. So it's going to rain quite a bit. The weather is going to be cloudy, and it'll be obscured views of the mountains, if any at all. So we avoid climbing in the monsoon season. Nobody really wants to trek to base camp in the rain. And it rains quite a bit that time of year. And I have pushed it late with groups, and they got rained on, and then there's difficulty flying in and out of Lukla or with helicopters and that kind of thing. So the other season that's very popular is either April, May, or September, October, November. So typically it's going to get a little bit warmer from April into May, warming up a little bit, and then it has the monsoon summer, and then in September the monsoon ends, and the rain stop, and there's better clear views. The weather improves. So September is going to be a little warmer, October a little bit cooler, November a little bit cooler. But all fine trekking months. April, May, September, October, November, all fine trekking months, because what we're looking is to get good views of the high mountains as well. Nobody wants a hassle flying in and out of here if we can help it. So the Lukla airport's more likely to be open when the weather's nice. And then the trek will be more pleasant and enjoyable. And the views, of course, are the big thing. You get up to Mount Everest, you get up to Kalapatar, you get up to the areas above Namche, where you have views of Amadablam and Lobache and Lhotse and Everest and Pumori and all these other amazing mountains that are surrounding us up in the high Himalaya. We want to be able to see them. So that helps, and that's why those two seasons are really the ideal time of year to trek to Mount Everest Base Camp. So basically, we're making our journey. It's super quiet because we're kind of at the end of the pandemic, or not. Who knows where we are in the pandemic. I've been vaccinated since since January. So, we're, able to start to travel again now, and taking a COVID test to come and go and that kind of thing, which is pretty easy to deal with. But it is extremely quiet. I haven't seen it this quiet on the trail since I was here during the earthquakes in 2014. And there is some peace and quiet and solitude and all that, but I definitely have a heart for the Sherpa communities here in the valley that depend on the tourism. So we're anxious to get tourism back going here. We're anxious to get people back on the trails and trekking to Mount Everest Base Camp and on all of our international adventures. And we're here right now breaking ground on a medical facility that'll be built up in Fairshade at about 14,000 feet. And it'll be really great to get that started. And we're going to break ground now in hopes that it'll be kind of wrapping up from now being April, and make a good push over the next few months, and have it kind of coming together by next fall. So we'll see how that goes, but got to make our way up there and check out the site, make sure that we're off to a good start. And we're going to have a beautiful day hiking today from Monjo into Namche, and I'll make some videos along the way. Okay, we're at the entrance to Sagamartha National Park. You can see the park entrance building here, gate down here. And Sagamartha National Park is the oldest national park in Nepal, and it's home to Mount Everest, along with a number of other high climbs like Amador Blanc and Lobiche, Lhotse, Nuptse, and things like that. But in this national park, there are a number of villages that are pre-existing since prior to the national parks being established. So we are going to trek village to village up through the national park, and today we'll make our way right through and over the Dukosi River a number of times on suspension bridges, and then we're going to go over the high suspension bridge and climb Namche Hill up into Namche Bazaar. Namche Bazaar is kind of the gateway village, and Bazaar being a trading post where they do a Saturday market every week. That is really a local trading market. Goods come across from Tibet, China, people from the valley, people from Namche, trading their market goods each Saturday morning for over 50 years. Really pretty interesting. So really cool. And we're just about to entrance the park, so we're signing in here, and then we're going to be in the Sagamartha National Park, World Heritage Site, established 1976, and where we'll spend the majority of our time after day one on our Everest Base Camp treks. Okay, we're inside Sagamartha National Park. We're trekking along the Dukosi River here, the Milk River. And whenever I'm coming in here, I always think about the first expeditions that came in this way, whether it was the British expedition in 53, the Swiss in 52, the American Everest expedition in 1963. Those guys did not find a Lukla. Those guys trekked from Kathmandu, which added probably a couple weeks to their journey just to get to Lukla. And then, of course, thousands of porters to carry supplies. Supplies were much heavier then. Clothing and things were not what we have today, but also you see where I came over these nice steel suspension bridges and these pretty nice walkways that we have even in the most recent times here. For them to get up this river valley, they had to forge the river. They had primitive bridges, maybe single strand suspension bridges that were, not very stable. Now things are really stable and comfortable to cross. They even crossed with big yak teams and pack animals. Way back then, they didn't use pack animals. Everything was carried on the back of a human, a porter, a Sherpa porter along the way. And yeah, just such a different time now, although an amazingly beautiful trek. I just have so much respect for those guys that came first. And, you know, climbing Mount Everest, having done that, is difficult in itself. But to think of the gear they used, the journey just to get to base camp, absolutely tremendous effort. And with much respect I have for them. I've seen a lot of improvements to the trails here over the years, just in the last couple years. You know, walking paths like this that lead up to the big suspension bridge that goes to Namche Hill. So things have changed quite a bit, although it's still pristine and beautiful outdoor environment. Nature at its finest. People, the culture, and everything about it, but definitely has changed just a tremendous amount from the earliest expeditions that paved the way here in the high Himalayas, in Nepal, Khumbu Valley, and now the Sagamartha National Park. Okie dokie, we just walked up Namche Hill, and we're heading into Knobship Bazaar. Here's the guys and Olivia. We're just coming into Namche. Namche is the gateway village of the upper Khumbu Valley. They meet here every Saturday for a trading market, hence the name Namche Bazaar. It's kind of the trading bazaar, and it's every Saturday. And they bring goods in from the trail over here from Tibet and from different parts of the Khumbu and the lower Khumbu, kind of the way we came and even below. And every Saturday they do a trading market. But it's the biggest village that we go through on our trek to Everest Base Camp. You can see all these beautiful tea houses up in here, and a lot of cool shops. You got Wi-Fi, you know, nice lodge. We stay at the Hotel Namche, really nice facilities right in the center, so people can get out and explore, go to the little shops and check things out, and Wi-Fi is good, things like that. So it's really nice. See this stupa right here, the center of Lower Namche, with all the prayer rolls on it. But people love Namche. So we spent 2 nights here at 11,800 feet or so, depending where you stay. And the reason we spend 2 nights is because we want people to acclimatize. Because, you know, a lot of people go to 11,000 feet, say, skiing in the West, in the United States, but they only go to that altitude for a moment and then ski down, and go to that altitude for a moment and ski down, and then they stay at the base, or they go down the valley and that kind of thing. But when you go to a place and actually stay there and sleep there and stay there and don't go down at the end of the day, the body has to acclimatize. So 2 nights here is definitely the way to do it. And then after 2 nights, after our first night, we'll take a nice walk and get out and do an acclimatization walk. We'll go to the Sherpa Museum, the Cultural Museum. We'll go to the Namche Monastery. You can see up here somewhere, hard for me to see. But, you know, we get out and have a full day on our feet checking things out, and it helps us acclimatize. So that's a good way to go. We'll spend the night, and then the next day we'll make our way up and cross the river and go through to Tangboche, the monastery up there, and then we're starting to get up 13,000 feet or so. You can see the stupa right here, and really is pretty right now. The springtime in April and May, all the rhododendrons are out. You can see this rhododendron that they have like a fountain, and these nice rhododendron flowers that are in full bloom. We'll see them for surely in a couple days going up Tangboche Hill to the Tangboche Monastery. It's full of rhododendrons, and off the backside of that, so really beautiful. But we're in lovely Namche Bazaar, and they've just in recent years put this nice entranceway in with this beautiful fountain area, and they really take pride in their town, and it's lovely, and we really love being here, and looking forward to spending a couple nights here and seeing some old friends. And we're looking forward to obviously getting back here after this pandemic's over, and getting back here to spread some tourism and spread some love to all these beautiful places in the Khumbu Valley.